All right, what's that? Oh, we're live? All right, yeah, we're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Hey, I don't know who can hear me yet or not. Is this thing even working? So it always takes a few minutes. I know there's a commercial and stuff like that. I've got my laptop on. Let me skip that ad. Who puts ads on these? How y'all doing? It's Friday night. Good to see you guys. You guys are already lighting up the comments. I've been getting up here and I saw all of a sudden pages full. So I like the activity. Can you guys hear me okay? Good morning. There we go. Yeah, nice. I'm live. I'm hitting it. We are ready. Hey, I did that little thumbnail about, shh, I'm hiding from stupid people. Have you just had some of those weeks, where you just seems like everywhere you go, you're going to the grocery store, you're out and about, just in traffic, it's just, you just shake your head sometimes. You're just like, what in the world? What are people, and we already talk about people not prepping and just pretty much putting their head in the sand, but sometimes it's hard. It's hard. Sometimes I really am jealous of you guys that live out in the woods, that you guys have your own little plantations. You're out there in the middle of nowhere, and sometimes I'm jealous. I can see the benefits of doing that. Yeah, it is hard. Sometimes just going up and down. Look, just going into the parking lot of, let's say, Walmart alone, just the parking lot. Haven't even parked the car, and I'm already a nervous wreck. I'm already biting my tongue, just trying to get to the parking lot. And so finally you park, you make it inside somehow, and then you have to deal with all the aisles. And that's what happens. That's probably why I shouldn't ever go back there, but I still do. So I hope you all are doing good. Hey, it's good to see you guys. CK's there. Who else we got? Yeah, people wasting their money, CB. Yep, it's amazing. People just buying all kinds of junk. And just wondering, do you have anything that's going to help you survive if you ever need it one day? I shake my head, no, I don't think they do. No plantation, but country out there, Paul? Yeah, country. My wife and I, before we got the house that we're in now, it's not horrible where we're at. We have some neighbors and stuff, but they're good. Somebody did hit my mailbox a couple weeks ago. A few of you remember me talking about that. Talking about stupid people. Obviously, nobody claimed it. It's one of those hit the mailboxes, and that's it. They don't bother to come tell you or fix it. Just they'll move right on along. So, yeah, Lorna, that's great. Thank you for putting that. If you at any point during this ramblings, if you do have questions, seriously, put them in caps, because we will help answer your question. Many on here are really good at jumping on that and answering questions. I try to look for them to help point that out, and we can answer some questions, come up with ideas or tips. I also usually have my wife running safety for me, and she'll come in and she'll say, hey, you missed this question. So I've got some backups. Hey, with preppers, we have to have backups. So I've got mine going. There's Joy right there, JK. Everyone say hi to Joy. So, yeah, she is awesome. Yeah, she's the brains behind the scenes. She keeps me straight. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. Lenny on the Mississippi. Hey, y'all. Yeah, I've got the phone chat, and if it starts flipping fast, I jump over and look on the laptop. We usually have a lot of activity here. So I try to make sure that I kind of keep an eye and catch it the best I can. Hey, Trini, how you doing? Yeah, it's like an AA meeting. Yeah. So sometimes we feel like, right? Yeah. Good evening. Fantastic deal on chicken here. Prepper Home. Oh, that is a good deal. Yeah, $1.67. Yeah, if you can get under $2 for chicken. I've had a lot of people start saying, hey, start watching out for the chicken and pork prices. So as long as you're still getting it for that price, just keep on grabbing it. Just keep on doing it. And yeah, Jerry Anonymous. And I am a prepper. Yeah. No, I didn't see those batteries, Allie Roo. What were those? The Amazon. That's a good thing too. How many of y'all have found some good Amazon Prime Day items? I really didn't have time to really shop, so I'm just curious. It looks like Allie Roo found a good deal on batteries. So yeah, anybody else? I resisted Prime Day. Yeah, it's probably better that we just resisted. Keeps us from spending too much money. Yeah, Diane. Yep. My name is Diane. I am a prepper. Yeah. Yeah, we're in good company here, I think, guys. I think we're good on that. Hey, Glenn. Yeah. Hey, what about all that heat going on? I had man, who sent me that email today from Idaho, showing that they have record heat hitting over in Idaho area, and that they've put out a disclaimer and letting people, warning to people that there could be some grid issues with the extra AC being kicked on and their power grid, that they're already warning people to start getting prepared in case there's some blackouts. So man, that's hot when your area starts warning you. Yarn prepper. Hey, my name is Yarn and I prep yarn. Yeah, CK is getting all the rain. So Canada's hoarding the rain, guys. If those of you that are in the drought out west, it's up north. It's further up north, so you got to go up there and get it and bring it down. But yeah, I've just been kind of watching little bits and pieces of it. That's right, TG, that was you. Yeah, thank you, TG. I couldn't remember. I was like, I've been trying to catch up on emails today, text messages. It's just been a busy day, just working and just different life things, and it just seems like the day is just flown by, which that's, when you're working, that's a good thing. But sometimes just trying to get caught up on things, you just start feeling like you're a little behind the eight ball. But hey, we're on the live. I'm excited for this tonight, and I'm glad to be here. Yeah, so let's see. I'm just trying to catch here. Yeah, rain barrels right now. Bill said he found a 55-gallon for $20 to fill up the gaps in the water storage. Yeah, finding just different ways for the water, guys. I know some of you were in the West. TG, it was one that emailed me in Idaho, and I hope you guys are doing okay out there. I know it's hot, and Tennessee's getting warm again, and I know some of you all are getting hit. What's that? British Columbia, supposed to get over 105 degrees soon because they normally don't need it. Oh, wow. So this 105 is a really big deal for them then. So I guess this is what we're in for this summer. It's going to be hot. And I know that there's crops involved. I've read things. I've seen some news out west, different crops and things that aren't going to be able to be grown. And we know that that'll affect more than just out west. That there becomes a shortage in these issues. Oregon, 113. Wow. So, yeah. So, guys, it's easy to find things. It seems like never before. You don't even have to try very hard. Hey, Candace. Hey, Jerry. I think maybe you've had your fill of Oreos and soft drinks. Time to buy Joy her favorite treat. Okay. I could do that. Yeah, we could hook her up. Thank you, Candace. So I heard her whoop whoop in there. I don't know if she came across the speaker, but Candace, I'll make sure that Joy gets a treat. So thank you. Which that's a good point, because I'm always talking about, like you said, my diet Pepsis and things, and she has her little coffee addictions and things too. So. So yeah, thank you, Candace. Yeah, we'll definitely take care of the Joy for that. But yeah, talking about the crops and things, being affected everywhere. Like I said, oh yeah, I was saying, I get easily distracted. But yeah, having so many things just all around, you don't even have to try hard. You just flip on the news, you just watch some YouTube channels, you just watch anything. You know there's issues going on everywhere. I call them stackable events, where one event in itself may not be a whole lot, but once you start stacking these events, it starts changing the scope of everything. I mean, we talk about on our Thursday videos, just look at all the comments from everybody at the different parts of the country or the world, and it affects different regions, but it's being affected. And if it hasn't hit your area, just hang on, because there's a good chance that it can. And what we're doing is just trying to stay prepared. TG said, I highly recommend a Berkey for water. Somebody, it was Shadow, sent a message earlier today on one of the other videos, said that they saw that the Berkey systems were announcing that there was going to be a raise in price come July. Is that right? Hey, JT, thank you. Thank you very much for that. That keeps the fix moving. So, and yeah, you're right. I found the cherry one. That's the hard one to find. But they had some and I grabbed it. The last pack that they had this past week on Thursday. The Thursday video I showed that. But yeah, Shadow was saying that the Berkey system was advertising that the prices were going to go up. I don't know, did any of you all hear that? Because if you are wanting to get one, if that's true, then the time would be now to make sure that you save money, because we obviously want to save money if we can. So TG said they bought one a month ago with the stand, was just over 300. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what the new rate's going to be, but yeah, Dave, great reminder. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, if you all don't mind, hit the like button, the little thumbs up on the little where you can like it. And like I always explain, because I know some people have asked me in the past, how do I find the like button? Sometimes you have to close X and close the chat, and then it'll show where you can hit the thumbs up, little like thumbs up button, and then you just have to go and click on live chat again, and it pulls it back up. So that's a little trick that some people were thankful to know how to do that. So, and I'm thankful that you know how to do that. So, but yeah, subscribe. If you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. It's a great group here, not just on Friday nights live, but anytime that I post a video, you'll see all these great people in there. And yeah, CK, thank you. Yeah, a lot of you do that. Sometimes I get likes before the video even starts. And I'm like, wow, that's pressure. Before we even get going. Hey, Kathleen. No, we were just getting warmed up. Just getting kick-started. So somebody said a great deal. An estate sale for $20. That is a great deal. Yeah, if you can find those estate sales, I know you can find little gems hidden in there, and especially if it's a prepper item or something that you can use. So, hey, Teresa. Yeah, Lorna's had a question here, and I've seen you've asked that question in the past on a video. Lorna has said, anyone have issues with the Berkey red dye test? Lorna has not bought one yet because some people were having some issues. So I'm not familiar with what that is, but I do remember Lorna asked that before. And so if you kind of have some information for her, that might help. Oh yeah. Don't forget the spare filters too. Yeah, if you're gonna have the Berkey, make sure you got your filters and things too. So, ooh, rhubarb and blueberry jam, nice. So yeah, you guys came out of the maple syrup season, and now you're in that jam making season. So that's always something going on. I know you've been staying busy. So a couple people said no issues. Hey, old bloke. Oh, you tested out the canned meat, that Keystone meat. And old bloke, for those of you who don't know, he's from Australia. So over in Australia, very hard to find and very, very expensive. Canned meat selection here is very limited. Wow, man, I hate to hear that. It is starting to go up here. Dave sent me a picture of his store. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong. And it showed the Keystone starting to go up even in the local store. And I know we've had a lot of talks about the websites like the Walmart.com and things like that. And price goes up and down. You know, sometimes it's down, but then sometimes it's up. And then sometimes they put limits on the amount of cans you can buy. So Dave said that was correct. Yep. So it was funny because we were talking about that. The cans of Keystone in the stores, it seems like it was just always a set price. And I was like, well, once that starts going up, you know that there's going to be some issues coming up because it seemed like that thing stayed steady for a long time. So far, yarn pepper has not gone up. And they would let me buy them all. Yeah, so I know like my local Walmart has Keystone. They only have the chicken and the pulled beef, not the ground beef. And there's no limit on them. And their prices have so far have remained the same as of Thursday. So yeah, Lauren, I hope that helps you. Looks like you did get some feedback there. And just a heads up too, if for some reason I'm not catching your comments or things that you're saying, please don't think that I'm skipping you on purpose. When things are rapidly going through, it's just almost impossible to catch everything. When I catch it is when I go back and rewatch it, and I can go through the comments and kind of catch up. Like on Saturday, tomorrow, I'll have time to do that. But just don't think that I'm skipping you on purpose because it moves. It goes through quick. TG canning chicken. Yep. We have been warned we may have power outages due to the heat. Okay, so that's what we were talking about. Some of you had jumped in and said, hey, what did I miss? We were talking about the heat that the West is seeing right now. The extreme heat, by the way, and a lack of rain. And a lot of people are receiving notices. TG was one. They sent me an email letting me know that they're being warned there could be some black outages, power outages, because of so many people cranking up their AC and running more power than normal. They're already starting to be warned that could be a possibility. So when you get those warnings, it's easy just to say, it'll never happen. But it's best just to go ahead and get prepared. Kind of like hurricane season. We've talked about that. It's better just to go ahead and just get ready. Just be prepared. It's not going to hurt you. And then you could just keep using your preps like you normally would, normal day-to-day living. If for some reason an emergency doesn't happen, no skin off your back, you were prepared. So, and we were talking about earlier, just dealing with people in general. Just in life, just dealing with people. And I told you how jealous I was. Some of you all live out in the woods, out in the middle of nowhere. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, and if you do have questions, make sure they're in caps. And hey, look, from time to time, don't be afraid. We get some brand new preppers on here. Don't hesitate. Put up a question. One of the reasons I like the live stream, it's to connect. I like connecting. We like to joke and have fun. A lot of you guys like to catch up, but we're here to help people too. We like to try the best we can to network with brand new preppers too and help them along because we've all been there. And some of you have been there when you were kids because you were raised this way. But for some of us, we started prepping, a little older in life. Joyce said she can't see my shirt. I wore my Father's Day shirt again. It is going to show you backwards because I have the phone camera facing me because I wanted to make sure I was in the screen and I could see the comments on my phone. That's my my SHTF shirt. But like I said, it's backwards, but you can figure that out. So it's not backwards? You can see it okay? Oh, nice. Okay. I guess because on my screen, it's showing it. Oh, there it is up on my laptop. Okay, we're good. Look at that. I just learned something new. Because I know in my just regular videos that I do, if I do it this way, it reverses thing. How many of y'all thought my kids and I were all left-handed? Because that came up. I had the camera reversed, and it made us all look like we were lefties. Yeah, Ali Roo, you're right. And Joy, as awesome as she is, she knows how to make T-shirts. She used to do that back in the day. I've tried to talk her out of retirement, and I figured, hey, we could do our own merch right here out of House of Prep and eliminate, the third-party expenses and things and try to make it a cheaper price and being able to do stuff, without having to use Amazon and anything like that. So, yeah, this is something they got me right off of Amazon, and I think it was like $15. I think I still have a link. Might be in this video description. I know some of you liked it, so I'd put the link out there. But yeah, anything you guys buy through Amazon, even your normal shopping, even if you watched, got a Finding Nemo video or something, if you went through my link and you searched whatever it is and you bought, it does give me a small percentage. Some of you have been doing that and are faithful. Just anytime you do shopping, you just do it through my link. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. So. Oh, thank you, Ali Roo. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, we talked about Berkeys. If you get a Berkey and you decide you wanted to get it off Amazon, yeah, some of you are allergic to Amazon. Yeah. Hey, I understand. Yeah. And I have to stay off Amazon because I ended up spending too much probably. So let's see. Yarn Prepper had a great question. It's a great question. Was asking Joy, JK is Joy, my wife, if she did any prepping before she met me, and she just kind of hollered in. She said, "Nope, she didn't. She didn't prep." What's that? Just my dad. Just your dad? No, her dad. Yes, her mom and dad. Her dad was into it, which is cool because I've gotten to know that more and more about him, and talking with him, and I've learned some little tricks and things from him as well, and. So that was always cool, but her personally was not. And so when we met and got married and things, I didn't like just overwhelm her with it. It's a joke that I've said before in the past on some of my videos. She said, "I don't mind you stocking up on stuff. I just don't want to see it," Because, she keeps a neat house and very clean, and she does really good with decorating. And she just wanted to make sure that preps weren't just in her face everywhere she goes, and she goes into the pantry and it's just jammed full of stuff that she couldn't even get what she needed or be organized. So if you have a significant other or a family member, I think it's very wise to try to find that common denominator, that try to meet halfway, find ways to not make it overwhelming for the person who maybe is understanding and allows you to, and maybe even participates in it, but not to overwhelm them, not to over stock stuff. Well, and with her being vertically challenged, she has to use a stool, so you have to make sure that, yeah. I'm gonna get in trouble. I gotta stop right there. But yeah, so.
That's something they don't know.
Huh?
That's something they don't know.
They don't know that? I've said that before.
That I'm only 5 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, you wanna, I can see you in the reflection of the window. She doesn't like to be on live here. I want to say TV. It's almost like live TV. But one of these days, I'm going to get her to do a whole segment with me. So we're working on Joy, and she's very knowledgeable with life and things. So, but yeah. So like I said, if you have family and things, and you're like, hey, look, they're not preppers. I am. They might make fun of me or this and that. But if they're on board, if they at least help you like write down stuff that you need, that you use or they use, and try to find that buy-in with a family member. It really does make life easier if everybody has at least a small part in it. Maybe you're the mastermind behind the prepping. So let's see here. I'm trying to catch back up. So TG, I'm currently working on bug out bags. Yeah, hey, that's a great reminder too, especially for people. Hey, we're back into fire season, believe it or not. With this heat and the lack of rain, it's going to be fire season here again. All right, CK. Yep, I know. You keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you. But yeah, keep your bug out, get home bag. Yeah, Idaho for sure. You know, important papers. I watched it a year ago, last year, and things when there was fires, and people literally had minutes to get out of their house, and that's how fast some of these houses went up. And now, if you had to get out of your house within minutes, I mean, you're trying to. All right, yarn prepper. See you later. If you have minutes to get out. If you already have all your important documents and everything together in a nice, whether it's like a waterproof, fireproof safe or something, and have stuff where you can grab things that you have to have, whether it's insurance, paperwork, it's your birth certificate, social security numbers, bank information, passwords, phone numbers, just things that it's just going to make your life miserable to have to replace these things or try to remember things. Have them put in a safe, secure box of some sort and make it to where you know where it is so you can grab it and you can get out. Let's see, Candace says, Jerry, what are the disaster scenarios that you prepare for most in your area? I would say probably most in our area would be storms, whether it's a tornado. Now look, if a tornado hits, I mean, sometimes they hit out of nowhere. You've seen like a year ago here in Nashville, out of nowhere. Tornadoes formed, there was no warning, they hit. We've had some subscribers right here at House of Prep that's jumped on some of the videos and said, hey, we were in those tornadoes and they were scary, let me tell you what. So here in Tennessee, I live just outside of Nashville. So luckily we haven't gotten those tornadoes yet. But I would say storms and then just the normal preparing for the food portion of things like price increases, food shortages, things that we personally like to eat, things like that. Those are my first immediate in dealing with people. I always say this and I know I'm just I'm having fun and I'm having some fun with, my thumbnail and, picking on people, people being stupid and stuff. But in any type of a major crisis, and I always start with, I'm joking, but I'm serious, a zombie apocalypse, right? I'm not really worried about the zombies. I'm worried about the people behind the scenes, the people that become evil and, want to take everything and kill everybody. And you've seen the movies, but it's like that in crisis. You've seen one of the last videos I did. I was like, it's the preppers' fault, right? That was my joke. And, a lot of people are like, no, it's not. We've seen the crazy people. A lot of you have said, yeah, we saw these crazy people going out there and getting into the stores and that mad, crazy look in their eye as they're marching up and down the aisles, stuffing stuff into their carts. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Could you imagine those stores are empty? And hey, my wife will tell you, we had somebody out in the parking lot. We had found some toilet paper because, we just did our normal shopping. We just had a normal little pack of toilet paper and our cart heading out to our car. Somebody in the parking lot notices it and they say, hey, where did you get that toilet paper? Well, that in itself is innocent, but that's a small glimpse of what it would be like of people without seeing that you have and that they notice that. And now what kind of person is that? Is that a person that's just going to be like, oh, I wish I had that? Or are they going to be the kind of person that we're going to take that from you? And then it makes you like, okay, now next time I'm making sure everything's wrapped up. I don't want people looking at my stuff, even heading out to the car. But that just is a reminder of people's mentality and their thought pattern and how that thought pattern changes when they start panicking. And when they start seeing panic in the world and how now they're fearful, and to watch people change in fear. And it should make you pay attention and to understand that things can happen in like fast, just like a tornado coming in out of nowhere and hitting Nashville last year. Things like that can happen in our society, and it can change people in an instant. Not everybody, but there are people out there that it'll change their mindset and the way that they watch and look at you and what goes through their minds. So it's just something to think about. Not trying to get on a dark path or anything, but let me see here. I'll go back on these comments and see if I missed anything. Hey, Paul. Hey, was that you that called me? Is that Jordan Hazard? I forgot what movie you said that was, or that was a show or something. You said I looked like that actor. George Hazard, is that the actor? Hey, but I'm like that and typical. I go out in public. Yes. Okay, Paul said yes. And I pulled that up, by the way, that day you told me that. And sure enough, I'm looking at him and I'm like, wow. I mean, I can see a resemblance. And maybe that's, the North and South miniseries. That's what it was. And I'm like, hey, maybe that's a family member that I have not met. Could have been a cousin or something. So, but hey, I'm the kind of person that, like, let's say I've been working all day and I'm going and I just need to get a break. Maybe I go to a little restaurant, a little fast food joint, maybe even just get a drink, get a snack, just to unwind for a lunch break or something. And I'm not typically one who wants to interact with people. But for some reason, and when my wife first met me, she noticed the things, and I have people that attest to it. For odd reasons, people always come up to me and talk to me or ask me questions or something. It's like I'm a magnet. A lot of times it's just people asking for money. And I'm like, I'm looking for it too. But I'll put on a hat just like this. I'll put it down low just like this. I'll keep my sunglasses on and I'll have a pair of headset listening to some music or something. Or even if I'm not listening to music, I'll pretend like I am. And I'm just there. I just want to eat my food. I just want to relax for a few minutes. And people still are trying to come up and get my attention. And I'm like, look, I'm trying to make it clear I'm just in my zone right here. But for some reason, people still come up. Yeah, it's my poker look. I'm trying to be serious here. I just don't want people walking up. But for some reason they do. And it's weird that I kind of started doing those things, leaving my sunglasses on, putting in the headset, making sure the hat's down. Just to kind of be off radar, I guess I started off trying to be gray man. We've talked about gray man, and I've heard a lot of channels talk about that. And so I added the glasses. I just trying different things. I just wanted to make myself less seen, I guess. But it just seems like no matter what I do, people still just kind of I don't know what it is. But anyway, sometimes you just need a break from people. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. Just need a break. I like people and everything. I think people are great, but sometimes, man, yeah, I just need to grow this out and just get it real bushy. That's what Joy was hoping I would do too. She just wants to. She just wants to get. I want to be like a mountain man. Get that crazy look in my eye. Maybe that'll help ward off some of the visitors. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, I don't know. I used to have a lot of people, and this was back when I was shaving and everything too, and I probably had a little more hair on my head. People used to come up to me a lot and say, hey, did anyone ever tell you look just like Tom Hanks? And I was just like, no. But it happened all the time, and I had people say, oh, I don't believe you. Now people don't do that. And then they'd go out with me in public somewhere, and these just random strangers would just stop in their tracks and they say, hey, excuse me, did anyone ever tell you look just like Tom Hanks? And I'm like, I can kind of see it a little bit, but not a lot. But for some reason, my greatest story on that, I know I'm on a rabbit trail, but hey, that happens. It's Friday night. We're allowed to do rabbit trails on a Friday night. I was on an early morning flight going somewhere. I think going down to Florida. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. Everybody on the plane, it was just quiet. Everyone was half asleep. Everybody boarded the plane, and you could hear a pin drop on there. It was just so quiet, and everyone was so tired. And the ladies that work up and down the aisle, they were starting to kind of like, pass out a few little things. And one walked by, and she goes, "Hey, does anyone ever tell you look just like Tom Hanks?" And that's the only person talking on the entire plane. So the entire plane turned around to look to see who she was talking about. And I'm just like, hey, everybody, yeah, I'm the stunt double, So, I am Tom Hanks, I'm just trying to go on a flight, guys, If I can make the money for that, I guess that'd be great. So, yeah, JT, that's what I said. I was like, I don't see it. I don't, maybe when I was a little younger, but even then it didn't register with me. But to each their own, I guess. But I never made any money off of it. I never got called to be a stunt double or one of those TV shows of lookalikes or anything like that. So nothing ever positive came of it. Just a fun story, but I'm sure that'll make your all's weekend now. You guys will be able to sleep better at night knowing all that great information. Yeah, thank you, Joy. Yeah, exactly, Lorna. That's what. Yeah, I didn't. Well, hey, y'all don't be mentioning Tom Hanks in plane while we're on a plane. Okay, you all remember what happened with Castaway, right? We'll be meeting Wilson. So that's not the best time to be talking about that lady. Yeah, that's what we should have told her. So, yeah. Like John Cusack, really? Yeah, that's the first one. Yeah, that plane ride did not end well. It's a great movie, by the way. I enjoyed watching it. He didn't have to memorize a whole lot of lines in that movie. Let's see, Dr. Prepper says, did you all hear about the grocery checkout person in Georgia? Customer killed her because she asked about his mask at a Big Bear Market. I did not hear that. Did that just happen today? Is that something recent? Did not hear that. That's when I was like, look, people are edgy. It just seems like that everywhere I go. Just real edgy. Even if we try to joke around with some of them, they look at you like, I'm gonna, whoa, it's just a joke, Oh, Dr. Pepper, you're a grocery checker. Whoa, yeah, you better be careful. Yeah, when you have a job where you're dealing with people, yeah, just be really careful. You don't know who's been having a bad day, and they're willing to take it out on anybody over nothing. So just be really careful. Yeah, Dave, that's this day and age. Just especially if you're trying to protect yourself and family, you consider doing what you could. And if at certain workplaces, yeah, you may not be allowed to. So you have to be careful to keep your job as well. But let's see. Hey, Starbeck. I was talking to Sherry Lee. Hope you don't mind. I'm going to jump in your conversation. I was just curious to see what y'all are saying here. I have already been telling my husband that I would like a pressure canner for Christmas. I've never used pressure canner, and I'm a little nervous. Next year, I hope to have a small garden. Oh, nice. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I recommend the garden. That's what I started with, actually, just out back here. This is my deck behind me. It's getting dark back there now. I loved it. Did the deck garden this year. Going into next year, I'd like to put some raised beds out in the yard and then still do some on the deck because it's been so much fun. And it's so beautiful to go out and sit mixed with the flowers and have the extra flowers from the vegetable plants and the veggies. And definitely start your small garden. And if you've got time and patience and a little bit, throw a couple things out there now and just to play with it, just have some fun with it and get some practice in. And you'll start finding out really quick what pests are in your area. I found out there's cucumber beetles in mine. And we were talking about earlier, my wife, my father-in-law, he's kind of like a prepper as well, and he has a garden, and he has the squash and the cucumbers like I do. And I asked him, I said, hey, they live in a different side outside of Nashville. And I was asking, I was like, hey, do you guys have those cucumber beetles over where you're at? And he's like, nope, we don't have them. We never see them. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, it's like, what, why is just my area dealing with those? It's not fair. And yeah, I'm a rodeo beetle wrangler. Hey, I've wrangled some beetles out here. Let me tell you what, I've had to get rid of them. And with them being on the deck, it's been a lot easier to watch and maintain. I found out where they like to hide. I've learned all the little tricks. So I've learned a lot by doing the deck gardening, and it's learning about my area. So now going into next year, I know what to expect. Yep, I'm a bee herder. Oh, that's what I'm going to be. So I'd love to do that one day. That'd be a lot of fun. Get some fresh honey too. And yeah, I call them a herd. So get over it. Yeah, so anyway, so my tomato plants have not had anything bother them. And I knock on wood. So, but I asked my father-in-law, I said, hey, tell me about your other plants. So far, nothing. But then, like, literally just a couple days ago, my wife said, hey, they said something's getting into their tomato plants, and they're trying to figure out what's eating them up now. So I'm fortunate I don't have to deal with that I'm noticing here. So I guess it just depends on, even though we're all close by, it's just still different areas. So yeah, Candace, it's baby steps. I don't work out. Sometimes I don't think of all the fine-tuned details up front. That's stuff I learn along the way. So yeah, the tomato hornworm will eat up a plant overnight. Yeah, those are the types of things I want to avoid. They're bad in your area. Okay, yeah. I'm hoping and praying that none of them find my crops up here. I think we've probably got like 40 green tomatoes out there so far, and things are going great with tomato plants. And I think being up on this high elevated deck too, because there's stairs that lead down to the ground, and then it's a little bit of a walk back to the backwoods. So I'm hoping that being up high like this, some things are not going to bother me, and I'm hoping that's the case. Yeah, Dave, thank you. Yeah, for those that are still kind of coming in, and if some of you are still kind of in and out, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up button on the like button at some point or before you leave, that'd be great. It always kind of helps the algorithms of the channel and such. So I appreciate that, guys, for doing that. Thank you, Dave, for reminding that. And the same with the new subscribers too. Yeah, if you have not subscribed yet to House of Prep, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You'll get all the updates, and you'll get reminders for the Friday Night Lives. So let me check here. The chickens love them. Yeah, Dave, that's what we've talked about that, and other people have said, yeah, they said, Jerry, if you just get some chickens, that'll help with your insect problem too. And I could see that because we have our neighbor next to us here. Their deck's pretty close to ours, and we've gotten to know them pretty well. They have a garden too, and they have some bird feeders out there. There's a lot of birds that come to our area, and I notice they like to go through the flowers and the plants some, and I think that's what they're doing. I think they're kind of looking and they're grabbing little insects that are right around the plants. So if that's true, then I welcome that. So far they haven't messed up anything, so I've been kind of watching them. And I know some of you guys have given some horror stories, even recent. Somebody had told me that their garden, they came out and there was a deer that had been tramping through everything, eating up everything. And I was like, oh man, time to load up the freezer. So Yeah, and I live in my neighborhood that I'm in. There is a homeowners association, so there are certain little criteria things that I have to be careful with, not to bring attention to myself, which I wouldn't want to do anyway, but to make sure that I don't overdo it with things. So, oh, hey, Ali Roo. Yep, I appreciate you becoming a member of the channel of House of Prep. So you got the little house next to your name now. So thank you for doing that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I like the little houses. I always thought, what else could I put on there? But I'm like, it's House of Prep, put a little house and something that you can still see. So, and then I do occasional videos here and there that are just members only. So that's something, just kind of a fun thing. It's a fun thing. So I appreciate it. Let's see, what else am I missing here? Yeah, I appreciate you guys are having a great time here tonight. I hope some of you that are on here just to observe, just to watch, that's okay too. But I hope there's some good information going through here. I know I enjoy it. I always like to go back and read comments of all my videos, and there's always gold nuggets throughout all the comments in all my videos. So a lot of great people here. I'm just scrolling back up here. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. I think Joy would have already grabbed me by now if I would have missed a big question or something I was supposed to pay attention to. Oh, there's one. Ali Roo asked if I have a ham radio. I do not. The only thing that I have right now, it's my work radio, but I have some guys that I work with, and we haven't tested them out from where they live yet. And that's actually, now that you brought that up, it's a great question because it has a pretty decent range. I have a couple coworkers that kind of live in the same area as I do, and I think that it would pick up, but I do not have a ham radio. That's not something that I've delved into yet. Let's see, Candace says, hey Jerry, did you ever think you would be the focus of so many people Friday night? Thanks for hanging out with us. Candace, honestly, hey, look, I didn't start off doing any live streams. I didn't do live streams for a while. I started doing YouTube videos in September, this past September. And I didn't have expectations of live streams and things. I wasn't sure, where it was going to go, how it was going to work. My main focus has been, I want to have fun and I want to help people. And by helping people, maybe connecting people to get information, not just for me, but for other folks, and sharing information. And then also, I don't know where I was headed with that. Something about helping people. I'm just trying to think, like what were my first expectations? I didn't dream that I was going to be like doing a Friday night live stream. I didn't have those thoughts. But then as the channel grew and it seemed like people were being helped and enjoyed. Oh, by helping people, by watching me as I continued my growth, being a prepper. Because I wasn't a full-blown prepper. I'd been prepping, but not to levels, and learning the skills of things like gardening and my plan to can and just different, my journey on prepping, and wanted to be able to have other people that were getting into prepping see that and then be like, okay, this guy's doing it. If this guy can do it, I know I can do that. And that was kind of my thought pattern behind it. So yeah, being on a Friday night, look, I've had a lot of fun. I'm making great friends here too. I love a lot of you guys. Have been super supportive of me. Some of you since the early, start of the videos. And that's what has kept me going, is a lot of your all support and encouragement. And that's what's motivated me to continue. Because if you all started going, boo, Who's this guy? Get out of here. You know, if y'all would have started that, I would have been gone a long time ago. So, yeah, but we got a crazy crew here. So, yeah, if you're new, you know, jump on in. It's a great crew we've got going here. A lot of fun. I'm just trying to hear. I'm missing. I know it's hard when there's a lot going on in the chats. I'm missing out on some of the stuff, but need a license for the ham. Okay, so we were talking about the ham radio, Ali Roo. So Lorna said need a license for that. So that's something I don't have. TG said that they have a NOAA radio with a crank. But yeah, try that out. And Ali Roo is going to go get yours. Okay, it's your class. Gary, yeah, yeah, I see that, Mammy. I haven't had Gary back in a while. I've been thinking about that. I'm thinking Gary needs to make an appearance again. I know some people don't like Gary, so it's one of those things you don't want to shove Gary down people's throats. You just make an appearance here and there. So TG's learned a lot here. So that's a good testimonial. Thank you. All right, I'm just catching up here. Hey, Rip, it's good to see you, buddy. Love hanging out here on Friday night. Oh, thank you, Sherry. And she had to run the dog and the kids out just so she could hear. Hey, people in my household, they know Friday night, and I say, all right, I'm going live. It's like, boom. The sound level, everything just goes down, boom, and it's quiet, and you don't hear a lot of activity in the background, so everybody's on board, so we're good there. All right, I'm just gonna take a quick drink here. You all are chatting for a second. When I talk for a long period of time, normally my wife does all the talking. All right, she's still in there. I was just making sure she was listening. Yeah. So normally I'm not used to doing this much talking. So my voice isn't trained for that. So. All right. Well, I tell you what, guys, we're approaching an hour. And oh, wait. There's a question. All right, I'm going to stay on here for questions. So if you got questions, I'll stay on. So Paul says, what event turned you into a prepper? Yeah, Dave said cough drop time, Jerry. You got to keep it going. So Paul, that's a great question. I remember as a kid, my mom would always just have extra food and things, and she kind of planted the seed. But what event started it would have been probably living in Florida and seeing the hurricanes and living in them and being there and a part of them. But watching people every time wait to the last minute to go out and buy supplies and their preps. Every single time. And I just couldn't understand that. Why don't you just buy your preps and just keep them rotated and always have them? Excuse me. That's the downside to soda, the carbonation. But even if it's not a hurricane, there's always something in life, other events that you might need to rely on these things, whether it's batteries and flashlights and food and, whatever it is. But watching people always panic and run to the stores and buy things, it's like it clicked. Why? I don't want to be like that. I want to be somebody who's prepared, and I want to have, for whatever event happens in life, I want to have the control to take care of not just myself, but my family. And I think when you have kids, you even start thinking more about that, because you know that those kids are heavily reliant upon you. You don't want to have to be the one to tell them, sorry, I have nothing to feed you. I have nothing, no more water to give you. and I know you're thirsty and you're hungry and you're miserable, but I have nothing for you. And I wanted to be the one that says, I can provide for you. And I think at those moments, from there on, I've just kind of always had that wired in me. And one of the biggest things I used to hate too is everybody would run to Home Depot and Lowe's and they'd buy up all the plywood. And then like after the hurricane was done, everybody would line up and return it all. Till finally those stores put up signs the next hurricane season. They said, we will not be accepting returns on plywood, because you could imagine the amount of manpower and money and stuff they were losing dealing with people, where these people just needed to keep it because there's going to be a hurricane season again next year. So don't return it, or even later in the year. You know, people were returning it like literally that next week. No, keep it. You're going to need it. So just hang on to it. And that's like that with all stuff in life, with preps. Just something in life you're going to need. So that's where it started with me. So, and that's dealing with people. We talk about that. Dealing with people. All right, that was a great question. All right, guys. You know, it is approaching an hour. Oh, Lorna, that's cool. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the encouragement. I appreciate you guys being on here. I never try to keep you up late. I know some of you want to. You guys are ready to be on here all night long. I do have a bedtime. When you get old like me, you got to start thinking about bed and sleep and all those fun things in life. But no, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being on here. It's a great group. Our Friday nights, it seems like they're growing, and there's more I can tell by the activity on the chats. And you guys, if you don't mind, on the way out the door, if you haven't yet, hit the thumbs up button. And yeah, time flies. Yeah, the days fly. It is. But you guys seriously have a great night and have a good weekend. I know there's things going on in life and there's a lot on your mind, but don't forget to stop and smell the roses too. Enjoy your family, spend some time with your loved ones, your friends, and enjoy some good fun activities, make memories. And through all that's going on in this world, still keep making positive memories to remember. So good night, you guys. You guys have a good one now. Appreciate you.